Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Blue Ice Talks. I'm Blue and I like to talk about figure skating. In today's video, I'm going to discuss Ilia Malinin's free skate from the 2024 Grand Prix Final and whether I think it was a good idea or not for him to do 7 quadruple jumps. For some background, Ilia Malinin qualified top of the men's qualifiers for the Grand Prix Final after placing first at Skate America and Skate Canada. In the short programme, Ilia placed first with a score of 105.43 points, more than 10 points clear of second place Qyad, who got 93.49. In the free skate, Ilia attempted every single type of quadruple jump and 2 quadruple lutzes for 7 quad jumps total, and while he didn't win the free skate, he did win overall. Just so that you can see better, I've put Ilia's free skate protocol up on the screen, and as you can see there was an issue with every single jump regarding rotation. With a protocol like this, where every single jumping pass has an issue, it does beg the question of whether Ilia should have attempted these 7 quads, or if he should have gone for a safer layout and gone cleaner, and so I'm going to discuss both sides of the argument. So first, let's discuss why it was a good idea for Ilia to do a 7 quad programme. First of all, this was his first ever experience doing a 7 quad programme in an international competition. He's very likely done one in practice, but this was his first time actually competing it. And the Grand Prix Final is not a bad place to try it out, because there are no spots on the line. If Ilia had tried something like this at the World Championships for the first time, it could have gone wrong and he could have fallen down the rankings and then potentially lost the US men their 3 spots or 2 spots or whatever. He could have lost them spots. At the Grand Prix Final, because you qualify for it each season, there are no assigned spots, and so there's nothing really at risk. Ilia gave himself a safe competition to attempt it at, and it's a big enough competition that people would take notice as well. Ilia was also in the fortunate position of skating last, and so he got to see other competitors have imperfect skates, because Qyad, his main rival at this competition, had an imperfect skate, and that he doubled his quadruple salcho and also doubled the loop at the end of the triple flip double loop combination. It was meant to be a triple loop. So Ilia saw these imperfections and probably thought that he had more of a buffer. And this leads me on to the final point, which was that Ilia had more than a 10-point lead going into the free skate after the short programme. So he had a bit of a gap. He could have attempted this and let something go wrong, like the fall on the quad lutz, without so many repercussions. But of course we have to consider what were the downsides of Ilia attempting this and why maybe shouldn't he have attempted it. The first and kind of biggest reason why he shouldn't have attempted it is because of the rotation issues. So in the protocol that I showed you before, every single jumping pass had either an under rotation or a Q assigned to it. So he was lacking at least a quarter of rotation somewhere within every jump or every jump combination. None of the jumping passes were perfectly clean, and so he lost quite a lot of GOE on that as well as base value. This loss of points nicely brings me on to the second point I want to make, which is that Ilia could very easily have lost lots in the component score. He already had the components reduced due to the fall on the first quad lutz, but if he'd fallen again, which with a 7 quad programme, falls are almost expected, he could have lost so much more and possibly would have lost the title. Finally, this is the season before the Winter Olympics, and doing a feat like a 7 quad programme could lead itself very well to injuries. Ilia, if something had gone wrong on any of those 7 jumps, he could have had a very severe injury that would have put the Olympics in jeopardy. So maybe that's an idea to why he shouldn't try this again. At the end of the day, Ilia did win the Grand Prix Final and he did make history with these attempts, which we shouldn't forget even as we discuss whether he should have done them or not. It was still an incredible feat to even attempt this. Ilia said afterwards that his focus is on going clean, so potentially at Worlds we could expect to see a more polished 7-quad programme, which if that is the case, I'm quite glad that he then got his almost practice competition of the 7-quad programme out of the way before the spots actually matter. While I do enjoy seeing the quadruple jumps and I find them quite exciting, I would like to see Ilia maybe incorporate something else into his programme, like some more unique spin positions or more interesting choreography at certain points. Ultimately, it's down to him and his team and what they plan to do going into 4 continents and Worlds, and so we can only really sit and wait and watch. But I will be watching just to see if he tries something that insane again. I know this video has been a little bit shorter than my normal videos, but this is a topic that I have wanted to discuss for a little while and finally got round to doing it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have a topic you'd like me to discuss, please do let me know in the comments or on my social media. You can find my card with all of my links in the description, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!